Well,
Yay!
good morning. Happy Friday. The sun is shining. The birds are probably singing, and life is good.
Life is grand. And
Hmm?
yes, the robin was in the bird bath when I looked out the kitchen window this morning to make my coffee. So the
Oh,
birds are
yay.
busy. I love
Okay,
seeing that.
well, who the heck are we? Hello, good morning. I'm Anita A, and my partner, Cheryl
Cheryl
V.
V.
I never know which way to point. We are all in alignment, creating sacred spaces. And every Friday we come live and talk to you about everything energy, feng shui in your home environment.
Yay!
Yay. And your exterior environment too, right?
Absolutely.
That has
Absolutely.
a huge difference. I actually was doing some work this week. Maybe we'll see what the cards come up.
Hmm.
We can talk about that. And of course, we get our topic from the Personal Paradise card deck from our beautiful friend, teacher, mentor, Tara Catherine Collins. And, we've been using this card deck for 224 episodes.
226. This is 227.
226. Oh my God. See, I don't even know
Whoops!
anymore.
Woo!
Um,
Okay.
Time just
Oh,
flies.
there's
And
cards
I
come
don't think
flying
we've
at me.
ever we've never had the same combination of three cards or four cards or whatever. And they always tie together and it's always great fun.
It
So
is.
if you're joining us, leave us a comment. Say good morning. What are you up to for the weekend? How many times have you tuned in to us? Is this your first time? Do you catch us every Friday? Do you catch the replays? Give us some love, some comments.
Hmm.
Share this out, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
thing.
well, four cards came flying out. So four it is today. The
Four it
only
is.
one that came up face up, the other three were face down, is
Okay.
the number 20 card, fireplaces.
Oh.
So maybe that's the center point. So we also had number 13, affirmational belongings. Quite often people put them on top of the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
We also had number 33, single woman's bedroom.
Hmm.
And then we had number 39, closets, drawers, and cabinets.
Hmm.
Well, those all tie together very quickly, don't they? Because in our closets, drawers, and cabinets are a lot of affirmational belongings
Hmm.
that we don't realize we have. Now, if you're a single woman, odds are lots of them in your bedroom. And at the same time, I'm guessing some of them can hit the fireplace. There. All right, done. No.
Yeah, well, I think when I'm looking at all of these, I'm
Yeah.
getting like, oh, well, I think this is all about women today.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This Feng Shui Friday is not about you, it's about women.
Well, but you probably have a woman or two in your life.
Yeah, probably. Just give me a moment. I'm going to do this other thing and then we're going to have a feedback. So just give me 2 seconds,
Sure.
I think.
Well, while you're doing that, I want to actually touch on right off the bat a little bit of the five element theory because we have earth, wood, and fire.
Mm.
And in this case, we're flanked by fire on both sides when it comes to the color. And what I'm referring to is the border color around the cards, just so everybody knows. So
Mhm.
yellow is a color we associate with the earth, the tans, the terracottas. Green we associate with the wood element, your trees, your plants. And reddy orange we associate with the fire element. Sometimes can overlap, of course, into the earth element a little bit. But we need that fire as it burns down the wood, it nourishes and creates the earth.
Mhm.
And we know that there are a lot of fires going on in the province next to us, in the province of Saskatchewan right now. So I'm sending out some love to all of those that are dealing with, evacuation notices and the loss of property and homes and animals and pets. So we'll send them some love right off the bat here too.
Hmm. It's interesting how Mother Nature works, right? In some parts of the US, they're getting extreme flooding,
Yes.
right? And then there's parts of Canada that are getting the fire. It's like, you know, anyways, Mother Nature. You just never
Yes.
know what she has in mind to cleanse and clear, because that's what it's all about. That's what
Mm-hmm.
she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to the single woman, because
Okay.
I
The
think,
single woman's bedroom.
this is all about the single woman today. And you're so right, Cheryl, about what's showing up in your closets,
Closet.
drawers, and cabinets.
Yep.
And if you go into the single woman's bedroom, there's an opportunity to open up those drawers and saying, what am I holding on to that is affirming
Mm-hmm.
or holding on to a belief? And quite often in the closet's drawers, there are clothes that women hold on to, and oh, I love that dress. I paid $300 for that dress. I only wore it once, and I'm going to keep it because, when I get to be a size 10 again, then I can wear that
Mm-hmm.
dress. And so
Or because
then,
I paid a lot of money for it.
right, but it's affirming. So that one thing could be affirming the belief that you're not going to have the funds to replace the dress in the future, number one. Number two, it's affirming that your current weight, you're not happy with. And so you're telling your body, you're telling your cells that, you know what, I don't love you at a size 12. Um, I'm not happy, with how I feel
Mm-hmm.
right now in my body. And, I'm keeping that size 10 dress because someday I'm going to get back into it. And when you can shift that mindset and love yourself the way you are right now, whether you're a size 10, 12, 14, 15, whatever, and let those clothes go that are a lesser size or whatever, let them go lovingly, knowing that however you felt in that moment wearing that dress for the first time and it made you feel so good, you're putting that forward. You're blessing someone else to have that same feeling, that same joy. And then you're then really telling your body that, you know what? I'm beautiful just the way I am. I'm beautiful right here in a size 12 or 14 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the heck it is. And as soon as you make that shift, then miraculously, what happens is people will actually start to let go of some of that excess weight. And I don't know if this is, scientifically a study or maybe it's just one of those random thoughts that I get sometimes that,
She
I
doesn't.
don't know if they're real or not.
But
Um,
there's scientific evidence to back up.
Yeah, who knows? Um, but extra weight, when you put on extra weight, it's your body's way of protecting you.
Mhm.
So it's your body's way of protecting you from something emotional. Maybe it's emotional stress, maybe it's physical. Extra weight is always a protection mechanism.
Mhm.
And quite often it's connected to those subconscious limiting beliefs,
Yippers.
those things that we've picked up in childhood, yada, yada, that carry on and, travel with us for 60 years.
Or more.
And, and it's an opportunity to, as soon as you can let go of those limiting beliefs, like, hey, you know what? I'm beautiful in a size 12. If you can shift that mindset, then your body doesn't need that excess weight. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Again, whether or not it's scientifically proven is a totally
Yeah.
different
I don't
story.
know. It's one of
However,
those, yeah, Anita
however,
ramblings.
it's what, I agree with what you're saying, Anita. And It goes back to those belief systems that we have that are not necessarily ours. And we pick them up in the first 7 years of our life.
Mm-hmm.
And then we spend the rest of our life trying to figure out how to let them go. But we're constantly being bombarded with messages. So at one
Mm-hmm.
time, having a voluptuous body was sought after. But now marketing has shifted that so that you almost have to be sticks and you carry no excess weight. Well, how healthy is that? So it goes back to how do you feel in your body? And if you love yourself right where you are, that is the most important thing. Period. End of story, end of sentence. Because right where you are, newsflash, is where you are.
Mm-hmm. Karen Abler is joining us
Well,
this
good
morning.
morning, Karen.
Yay, we haven't seen you for a while. She made a great comment. Whenever I let go of clothes that no longer fit or that I haven't used in a year, the money or gift comes in bringing new, better ones, and it's
Mhm.
like magic. And
Yes.
it absolutely is like magic. It truly is. I read a post this morning from someone that Cheryl and I have used in the past as a photographer. And she made a post and she was showing pictures of her new outdoor furniture
Mhm.
that she had purchased and of how good the outdoor space made her feel and all of these things. And she had waited 15 years, I believe it was, to buy new outdoor furniture. And then she had this aha moment, this realization that, oh my gosh, why did I wait so long to spend the money on me that I can have this solitude, this happiness,
Mhm.
this happy place to go to? And I believe one of her comments was like, what have you been putting off that what have you been settling, right?
Settling.
It comes down to settling.
You betcha.
And quite often as women, we settle. We put ourselves last because, this needs done and that needs done and blah, blah, blah. And so then, the closet looks like we're settling.
Mhm.
And, that happens for me quite often. I have to pop over here for a minute because my battery looks like it's
Oh,
going to.
well, you're correct, Anita, and that settling shows up in multiple places in our home. I can recall when we were doing one of our 21-day decluttering boot camps, as I was going through my closet, that I had this pile of clothes that I wore for chores because I grew up on a farm and we had our church clothes, our going out clothes, and our everyday clothes. And guess which ones were in the worst shape?
Mhm.
The everyday clothes. Think about that now for a minute. Where I spent most of my time, I needed to look like a slob. But for the public, well, I'm just saying it as an extreme, right?
Hmm.
But for the public, I could put on this pretty face. Excuse me? Think about that. Why
Hmm.
is it when we're by ourselves, with ourselves, that we aren't worthy of
Hmm.
dressing that way?
Hmm. Yep.
Why do we have to have tattered clothes to do housework in? Why can't we look and feel fabulous all the time? So,
Hmm.
just some questions to ponder next time you're looking at your closets and your drawers and your cupboards or cabinets. Why am I hanging on to this? I know I had painting clothes. I did lots of painting last year. Why do I still have them, Cheryl? So that's probably
Hmm.
why that came up.
Well, and just think of the word itself, affirmational belongings.
They're
So
all
what are
affirming.
your belongings affirming to you?
Yeah.
And you know what? You can literally pick up any possession, anything that you own, and say, really in your conscious mind now, look at it through your feng shui eyes energetically and say, what is this affirming
Mhm.
to me and anchoring in my subconscious mind? That's a clue right there. You can literally, I mean, have some fun with that even today. Go around your house, pick up we're 9 days, so pick up 9 items. Go
Hmm.
through whether it's in your bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, wherever. Just, literally take a conscious moment, pick up a belonging and say, what does this belonging affirm to me? What is it saying to me? Where did I get it? What's the emotional attachment? Why am I holding on to it? Really just kind of maybe sit there and have a little conversation, and then you'll go, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't want to affirm that again because, like Cheryl said earlier,
Hmm.
we are being bombarded by information every day. Our mind is, there's so much information coming at us. And whether you know it or not, those items that you're keeping in your home could be anchoring or affirming a belief that you no longer have or no longer, want. But you've been so complacent in your home that you don't even realize it. So
Hmm.
have a look through your little feng shui eyes there today, and it might be time to throw them in the fireplace, right? We might need to do a bless and burn on that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and it's possible that the fireplaces came up because we do have a new moon coming up this week, and the energy is already very, very strong because we had some planets go into retrograde. And Michelle Karen, if you are on Facebook, has a great post about the retrograde that's going on. And what I loved about her post this month, just to go on a side note, is people think Mercury retrograde and all this bad stuff. But she follows that up with quite a bit of, but this is also the good side of that because everything has duality, right? So this is also the positive things that are going on, and it's about relationships and bonding and stuff. So it's worth, and maybe we'll just put the post. I'll share it in all in alignment here. I'll bring her
Hmm.
post in. It's a really good post. So thank you, Michelle Karen, for that.
Hmm.
But to go back to the fireplaces, great way of clearing and cleaning. And for the person that just set up their new patio space, maybe they have a new little, and that's probably why the card came up, a new little fire pit or something in the center of it to bring in that little bit of warmth,
Hmm.
to bring in the ambiance, because there's so many ways we can shift the environment so it's not inundated or over, what's the word? Overflowing with one element. It's bringing us back to that element. Outside in our garden, in my garden, there's a lot of wood element.
Hmm.
But I also have the water element in the water feature. There's other elements trying to bring in there, but we don't often bring up and use our fire pit.
Hmm. And just think about how does that feel when you cozy up on a
Mm,
rainy day to the fireplace indoors, or on a nice summer evening where you
mhm.
cozy up to an outdoor fire,
Yes.
right? How does that make us feel? And our body immediately responds to that energy by going,
Mhm.
and just feeling like a nice little hug.
Hug.
And so again, we've got the single woman's bedroom in there. So having that little bit of fire energy, not a lot, because we don't want your mind to be going, whoa,
Hmm.
bing, bing, bing all over the place while you're trying to go to sleep. But just that little bit of energy to cozy things up and make you feel warm or make you feel like a big
Well,
hug.
it could be as simple as a salt lamp,
Yeah.
right? When we think about, and I'm glad you brought up the single woman's bedroom and sleep because we always start with what results are showing up for you. What's going on
Hmm.
in your life right now that's fantastic? Yay, celebrate that. But and what's going on that you'd like to shift?
Hmm.
Maybe you're
And then
not
we can
sleeping
look through
great.
the feng shui eyes and we can
Exactly.
make some enhancements. Sometimes it's just some subtle, right? Subtle shifts, subtle energy, and it's going to make a big difference.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Mhm.
But when we're talking about, and I want to go back to a friend of ours when we were pre-COVID traveling and the story she told us about her end tables. And after we were talking, and had gone through a few relationships, and things were just not settling. And she goes, "But I've cleaned out this and I've cleaned out that." And so we suggested she look at her end tables. And when she did, right, so she
Mm,
had them balanced, she had matching things so that there was equality in the bedroom. She found some very old ticket stubs of her ex husband's
mm-hmm,
and had the realization that that energy was still hanging on.
mm-hmm,
Because everything is energy, ladies and gentlemen. Everything. And what is that affirmation? What affirmation do you think those ticket stubs were for her?
mm-hmm. Yeah, he still had energetic attachment to her in her energy field, and she wasn't aware of it because, like
Mm-hmm.
you say, they were stuffed in the drawer in her
Buried
nightstand
at the
in
bottom in
her
the nightstand.
bedroom,
Yep.
right? So it was just like it'd be like, just imagine a little cord holding on to you somewhere, kind of pulling you back, like, oh no, 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 you can't go out on
Can't
that
go
date. Oh
forward.
no, 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 no. I'm your ex-husband. I'm still over here. I want a little bit of control,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of what was happening. So yeah, it was a cool realization for her. And things shifted for her when she again just made that subtle
Connection.
little change. And again, that happens cognitively as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, really important because when we can shift our cognitive awareness along with the environmental, then it's a beautiful little synergy that happens.
Exactly. Exactly. We also don't feel as stuck, and sometimes we feel stuck and we don't understand why. But when you think about what you surround yourself with, okay? So this is pretty dense. We were just talking about this when we were having a great conversation with our friend Ian the other day.
Hmm.
When we have an excessive amount of stuff, can you easily see through that? Think about it. So stack all the stuff up that's right beside you. Can you see through all of this stuff? I could. My desk is pretty messy right at the moment, so I could stack quite a bit here. But you wouldn't see me. You wouldn't see me. So guess what
Hmm.
else you're not seeing? The
Hmm.
potential, the opportunities, the gifts sometimes.
Hmm.
Because we get so surrounded and inundated by material possessions that aren't serving us, that are acting as affirmational belongings. Everything, in a sense, is an affirmational belonging.
Hmm. Yeah, the dense energy. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's time to just,
Lighten up.
fire it up. I wore my fire glasses this morning. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Fire it up, get some energy, and you will, you know, no matter if it's your single woman's bedroom or your uh,
Office.
office or whatever space, when you just start to look at those affirmational belongings, clear out some of them or open up the closets and drawers and look and see what energetically is no longer serving you, and release and let go of that, you actually will get more energy, which
Mm-hmm.
is fire, right?
Yes.
Fire is like, ooh, fire is bouncing around and knows no bounds, and it's gonna, start uh, consuming and just bringing those things in. So you get a little bit more energy compared to, like
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl was talking about, that dense energy
Heavy.
that's like, oh, I don't know where to start. Oh my God, look at all this stuff, right?
Did you say Elvis? Oh, you
Elvis?
said all this stuff. I heard
Oh,
Elvis. Maybe Elvis is in the building tonight. I don't know.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe.
Well, single woman's bedroom,
Ah,
why not, right?
okay, so
Elvis's energy just changed forms.
yeah, and I think all the other reason all these cards came up today is because, if you don't already know, Cheryl and I are busy planning
Mm-hmm.
for her inspired
Yes.
journey Women's Wellness Weekends, September 13 and 14, live in person in Red Deer, Alberta. You can go to herinspiredjourney.com, check out all the incredible speakers, presenters. And if you have joined with us in that event in the previous 2 years, this one is going to be a little different. You know,
Mhm.
we've upped our game. We're actually going to do some workshop kind of hands-on interaction. You know, it's gonna be different.
Yes.
So yay. Um,
And it's not that far to come from California, Karen. We would
yeah,
love to have you join us.
yeah, and you know, we have some friends in Idaho you could just pick up along the way. Drive them in their little car.
There's probably a friend in Oregon that you could,
Oh, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, what's that town called?
road
Yeah.
trip. Road trip. So
Anyways,
keep and
it's gonna be great because one of our speakers is Marilyn Harper, aka Adironda, who is
yay
always referred to every week
every week.
in the double
Mhm.
digitology book. And because you know numbers are giving us some information, so a little bit of science.
All the time. And our Saturday evening event is Heart to Heart with Adironda and Marilyn Harper. And I shouldn't say our Saturday evening event, it's her Saturday evening event, but
Hmm.
you can also find information on our website about that. So,
Yep.
what did you come up for a total with today? I want to see if my math was correct.
I came up with a 6.
So did I. Yay! I love it when we're both the same. Excuse me. And of course, I refer to double digitology every week in the six. And what Adironda has to say about the six is the shape is of pregnancy, expectation of developing ideas.
Mm.
In the past, the energy of the six has only been about material possessions. And yes, it's still important to pay attention to those material possessions that you have in your world. However, now the six carries a much greater message. The six itself is about releasing your worry about material possessions or releasing your worry about the effectiveness of your money or anything related to your material world. And you know what? I'm not going to go any further because, oh my goodness, if that isn't a nutshell of what we talked about today about affirmations and all the stuff we have in our places, in our closets, in our drawers, in our cabinets, in single women's bedrooms, I don't know what is. So the six was important for everyone watching this, whether you're watching us live, and thank you for doing that, or watching us hashtag replay, thank you for doing that, or
Mhm.
watching this on YouTube, thank you for doing that. This is an important message today. It is every Friday, but I feel like this one is really, really important.
Mhm. I love it. Love it. Okay, well, I don't think we have any other comments here. Let me have a look. I put in the chat our website so everybody can check that out.
Awesome. And I'll add Michelle Karen's link for her
Oh,
astrological.
yeah, I don't have that handy. I
Yeah,
could
that's fine. I'll
probably
have to go
find
look
it,
it up.
but yeah.
Later. Keep an eye out. You'll have noticed that we've started also releasing the reels of our speakers. And what I'm loving about our event this year, as in past years, is if we have first time stepping on the stage speakers to international speakers like Marilyn Harper and Lady JB Owen that are going to be
Hmm.
gracing our stage. There is going to be so much sharing. There is going to be laughter. There is going to be tears. I know that for a fact because I'll be in the room. I am very
There are gonna
confident
be
saying
some
that.
holy shift moments. Those we will guarantee,
Yes,
holy shift
holy
moments.
shift moments, and there's going to be new relationships built, new communities founded, new ideas and businesses generated. This is such an exciting event. And we're going to give you more information as the weeks continue to build up to it. But watch this site, or if you're not a member of our Her Inspired Journey private Facebook group and you're female, ask to join. There's information in
Hmm.
there as well. We
Hmm.
will
Yeah, because
see
we've
you.
got some great people coming up
Oh my
uh,
goodness.
on our
Yeah, do you want to
stage.
talk about Anne?
Well, yeah, Ann
Got a
Jonas
minute?
is going to be on our virtual stage next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about numbers and synchronicity and
Mm-hmm.
coincidence, and I mean, uh, we invited her on our stage back in March, I think it was, or
Yep,
something.
something like
And the
that.
date that worked for her was July 22nd, which happens to be the anniversary of the tragic death of her parents,
Mm-hmm.
of her mother,
Of her
pardon me,
mother.
not parents. And her story is it's an incredible story, and her talk is about how to bounce back from life, how to be resilient. And she is just this incredible bubble of
Oh my
energy,
gosh.
talk about fire energy.
Yes.
She's got it going on. And so yeah, we get the pleasure of hanging out with these women that have these stories to share. And so
Mhm.
just when you think your life sucks, you know, come on and listen to somebody else's story. See how they walked through the fire,
Yes.
right, to get where they are, where they're now living on purpose, adding value to other people's lives through their inspiration,
Hmm.
through being resilient, through bouncing back. So, yeah, we're just so honored
Maybe we
to,
need to put the link in here too, Anita, for registering for her
yeah,
Tuesday
I
night.
certainly can do that.
Yeah.
And I just want to make another comment. I know we're a little past the hour. Karen made a comment. Mercury retrograde, here we come, reviewing all that we live with and releasing what no longer serves our higher
That's good.
aspirations. And
Perfect.
I think that's a beautiful way to
Wrap it
end,
up.
wrap it up today.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us, Karen, and everybody else on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. We are all in alignment with Anita A, Cheryl V, your stress reduction gurus. Have yourselves a fantastic week and take advantage of this new moon energy coming up.
Bye bye.
Bye.